Welcome, everybody, to Funeral Nation episode number 49. I'm your host, Ryan Thogmartin, and our co-host, Jeff, the Funeral Commander Harbison.
Hey, man, I can't believe this. 49.
49. It's pretty dope. What do we got coming up today, brother?
We've been blessed. This is the fast funding group with us is fantastic. And so sorry about that. It's hot and busy over here. Bottom line is we're brought to you by the Fast Funding Group, which has CGF.com, AmericanFuneralFinancial.com, and FuneralFundingCenter.com. And we're going to interview their Executive Vice President today, Mr. Jamie Meredith. So I look forward to that. Following our show, we're going to go to the southeastern U.S. for the spotlight on the funeral director. And the WTF, I'm just wondering if this is really a joke or not. We'll see.
I hope it's a joke.
I did too. So what's the buzz in the industry, bro?
Jeff, I think the buzz this week has been our boy Pete at Foreverance. They did probably one of the dopest urns I've ever seen for Prince. And the urn was a model of his house or palace or whatever you want to call it. Absolutely stunning. It moves, it rotates, it opens up, it does a lot of different things, like something we've never seen out in urn before.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to show a shot up here of that.
Yeah.
And by the way, just for this, the older audience out here, dopest means not there's some marijuana in there. It means it's cool. Okay.
Yeah, I played right into that stereotype, didn't I?
Yeah. We don't want to get that going out here. The next thing you know, Mr. Stereotype, I told you he's a drug dealer. Anyway, hey, look, this segment was brought to you by Funeral DNA ID, simple collection of DNA, and you don't have to send it out of the country. In fact, you don't even need to send it out of your funeral home. Funeral DNA ID. Visit those guys at NFDA. Roll the promo.
You can't predict the future, however, you can protect your business and the families you're serving. Funeral DNA ID kits that collect and preserve DNA during the cremation and burial process. Swab, spot, seal, legacy preserve. For more information, please visit funeraldnaid.com.
Ryan, question for you from the more you know minute. The more you know minute. This comes from Mike in Tennessee. Should I set up a profile or a Facebook page?
This is a question we get asked all the time, and a lot of funeral homes make the mistake of setting up a profile for their funeral home versus a business page. It's simple. Profiles for an individual user. A page is for a business and allows you to do a lot of extra things like get analytics, target users, drive leads, advertise, boost content, which a profile does not give you, and it is against Facebook's terms of service to use a profile as a business page. And there are thousands of funeral homes in the United States that are breaking those terms of service and setting up a profile as the name of their funeral home. Encourage you not to. If you have a profile set up with the name of your funeral home, it needs to be converted to a page. We can help you do that. It's very simple. Just shoot an email to ryan@disruptmedia.co, and we will walk you through that process.
Hey, thanks for the more you know. Now you know more than you did a minute ago. Just saying. Hey, look, our esteemed guest today is none other than Jamie Meredith, the Executive Vice President of the Fast Funding Group. So let's roll that interview. Jamie, welcome back to the Funeral Nation TV show.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it, my man. Glad to be back on. And, I think this is now the, third time you guys have had me. And it's amazing that you still have subscribers that actually watch the show, man. Usually when I'm around this much, people actually go away. So,
well, our ratings go through the roof when you're on, so
yeah,
we figured we'd try it again.
Oh, crap.
If you don't mind, reintroduce yourself to the Funeral Nation.
Absolutely. Be glad to, Jeff. Jamie Meredith is my name. I got started in the funeral/insurance business at the ripe old age of 19. Kind of one of those crazy kids that didn't really want to know what he wanted to do with his life and was manufacturing wood putty, of all things, and had an older brother that was in the insurance business that was specializing on the funeral side of things. selling final expense and pre-need insurance, and encouraged me one day to get licensed and to go into the insurance business. Told me I could make all this money and that everything would be peachy and rosy. So I spent one day with him riding around visiting with folks, and made a decision that was life-changing. After one day, I quit my factory job, got licensed to sell insurance in Louisiana, and embarked upon my insurance career, which led me to a couple of different places. I was really lucky and fortunate, blessed to find success early on as a young agent. Moved up into the management side of things and worked for several different companies over about a 10-year period. And in 2005, Security National Life, who was a competitor of ours at the time, put together this program called Fast Funding, where they were factoring insurance assignments and receivables for funeral homes, and basically came in and recruited me to come in and head up this new program that they'd started. And so that really embarked on my national career in the funeral industry. And so that was 2005. So the last 11 years, we've been factoring and funding funerals for funeral homes all across America. Today, I get to serve as the executive vice president of the Fast Funding Group, which is a collection of funding companies, C&J Financial, American Funeral Financial, and Funeral Funding Center. We currently work with nearly 3,000 funeral homes nationwide and fund about 40,000 funerals a year.
Wow.
Fantastic. Well, Jamie, again, thanks for being our first three-peat person on the show. But the Fast Funding Group, you continue to be our title sponsor. We're super stoked about that. So tell the Funeral Nation what's new with FFG.
Well, I appreciate that opportunity to share what's going on with the Fast Funding Group, Ryan. I didn't let you guys know because I really wanted to keep it a secret, but we like to announce new things on the show. And so today, because of the success of the Funeral Nation TV show, the Fast Funding Group really wanted to capitalize, Ryan, on what you and Jeff are doing. And so we've created a new product line. And the first new Effin' Swag that we've created, you can actually go to effinswag.com to purchase this one-of-a-kind Ron Martin baseball hat. It's going for $2,000.
I love it.
So that's what we're doing new is we're trying to capitalize on y'all's success, guys.
Wow.
That's
Man.
good stuff.
It's getting deep around here, I know.
Yeah. Well, that's good stuff, though. Jamie, from your vantage point, which you see a lot of statistics and you're out with a lot of places, where are you seeing the growth in the funeral service market, kind of the exciting side of the business?
Well, the exciting side for us is watching our diverse clientele kind of navigate this crazy business cycle that we're in right now in the funeral industry. As you guys know, and Jeff, you speak on it from an industry level, the competition in the funeral business is fierce. There's every kind of competitor imaginable out there that's offering the service at a cheaper price. What we found is those that are really doing well and those that are actually growing in the funeral service market are those that really understand and have spent the time to understand their clients' needs and wants. That sounds pretty easy, but very few people actually do that effectively.
Agreed.
Very few. Give you an example. We have a client that's been a client of ours for a little over a decade now. Very successful funeral home in Texas. When they came on about 10 years ago, the owner had just taken over from his father a few years previous, and they were doing about 900 calls a year. Very successful firm. But in that 10-year period of time, he's taken that business to where now they're doing in excess of 2,400 calls a year and has increased their profit margins dramatically. And people are all the time, baffled by the success that this particular guy in the funeral home has had. And, it's really one thing. He's figured out what his customers' needs and wants are. And he's figured out the best way to deliver that to them. And because of that, it's seen just tremendous growth. The flip side of that is those that do not know what their customers' needs and wants are in this ever-changing market are going the way of the dodo bird.
Yeah, that's right. Well, okay, so on the opposite side of the coin, Jamie, what are some of the biggest challenges you see funeral homes facing in the tough operating environment that we're in?
Well, that's an easy one, Ron. A good question, but an easy one. Profitability. Maintaining and increasing profitability in this cutthroat market that we're in. It is amazing how small some funeral home profit margins actually are. We get to talk to a lot of our clients that tell us, anywhere from the low single digits. Depending on which study you look at, last year, the average 100, 150 call funeral homes profit margins were between 6 and 7%. That is very, very slim margins to be operating on. And so in today's environment, figuring out how to not only stabilize that profit margin, but increase it, that's the challenges that many firms are facing.
But Jamie, thank you for that shameless plug for the Foresight companies, because you're right on point. That's where I spend all my I call my day job with. Yeah. And in fact, it goes back to the same thing you hear me every show here talk about is accounts receivable, getting your money, and profitability. You're right. The average funeral home is making about 7% profit, and there's no reason they shouldn't be in the 20s. The reason is they don't step up. So, quick question: do you have any numbers why funeral life insurance assignment really makes sense?
Oh, sure. It's really we started doing this, I guess, Jeff, probably about 4 or 5 years ago when we really started an educational campaign to enlighten funeral homes on the benefits of life insurance. And it's amazing. In 2012, the NFDA published a survey that it did of about 1,000 of its member firms. And they found out of those 1,000 member firms that they surveyed, 16% of families use life insurance to pay for a funeral. That is a lot lower than many people thought, and me included. Obviously, depending on the area and the demographics and the part of the country that the funeral home is located, there's obviously higher concentrations of families that use insurance. But on average, 16% of families. Now take this, Jeff. You look on the flip side of it, nearly 70% of all families in America have some type of life insurance in force, whether it's an individual policy, whether it's a policy through their employer, a policy through their retirement benefit. 70% of families have some type of life insurance. Where's the disconnect? The disconnect is funeral directors don't like dealing with life insurance. It's a pain in the butt. It's difficult. Usually got to wait anywhere from several weeks to several months to get paid. But the flip side of that is, what are they missing? What are they leaving on the table by not really going after those families that have insurance and really encouraging them to use that as their primary form of payment? Last year in 2015, we took a study of 750 of our funeral home clients and compared life insurance at need funerals to families that paid with credit card or check. You know what the difference was?
No.
31% average increase in service selection for the families that use life insurance to pay for their goods and services.
Incredible.
You just think about it, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
When the average family has less than $5,000 in the bank account, it's certainly hard for them to spend $10,000 on a traditional funeral.
No doubt.
And so, the old saying is, you go where the money is. The money is in the life insurance policies.
And it goes back earlier, to your, sorry I interrupted, but it goes back earlier to your profitability. That's 30% more profit. That drops to the bottom line there.
Exactly.
True.
Absolutely.
Well, Jamie, the NFDA convention is right around the corner. What are we going to see from Fast Funding Group at NFDA?
Yeah, actually, we'll have a couple of our companies there, Ryan. C&J Financial and American Funeral Financial have been big contributors to the NFDA for many, many years. And both of our companies will actually be there in separate booths. C&J's will be in booth 4005, and American Funeral Financial will be in 3825. Hey, did I lose you guys?
No,
we're still there.
Yeah, my screen went black. I'm sorry. But C&J will be there. I'll be there along with our Director of Strategic Partnerships, Rob Bryce. We'll also be bringing along our Director of Client Relations, Ms. Jackie Williams, which will be her first NFDA conference.
All right,
Chuck
good.
Gallagher from American Funeral Financial, our VP of Sales there, and Susan Mena will also be joining us from American Funeral Financial. So we'll have
Good.
a whole team of the Fast Funding group there to
Fantastic.
meet and greet our clients and potential clients.
Excellent. Well, Jamie, in closing, I'll see you in a few weeks, but what's the one piece of advice you give a funeral home owner that's teetering on the decision to use a fast funding group?
That's a very, very good question, Jeff. It's one of those deals where, if you're really like waiting 30 to 60 days to get paid, if you really like dealing with insurance companies, if you really like having your staff tied up in time and effort and energy to collect your outstanding receivables, then there's no need to use the fast funding group whatsoever. But if you want to improve your cash flow, reduce your accounts receivable, eliminate some overhead expenses, and add additional dollars to your bottom line, then assignment funding is a great resource to do that. We can't solve all of your problems, but we can certainly improve your cash flow and get you paid on those insurance assignments a lot quicker than waiting 30 or 60 days to do so.
Excellent.
Very
That's
good.
a great answer. Well, look, I'm a proponent. I use it. I tout it. I think it's crazy if you don't. We look forward to seeing you in a few weeks up in Philly. Keep that hat on. We'll be able to find it.
You want me to bring the hat, man?
Absolutely. I need to wear that.
Cool, by the way, right?
That's
You look
fantastic.
you are so cool in Alabama right now. You're the
No,
bomb.
the coolest. I mean, there's no one cooler than Alabama right now for sure.
Oh, man. Well, take care, and thank you for being here. Thank you for funding us, and we look forward to seeing you shortly.
All right, bye, guys.
Thanks, Jamie.
Take care out of here.
Fantastic interview. Love having Jamie on. And I think I need to adopt that new hat. I hope he brings it to NFTA and I can sport it. But very cool. This interview segment is brought to us by Sitch Casket Company. Sitch Caskets has been a sponsor of ours for a number of months, but they are making waves across the funeral profession with their distribution model and quality of their caskets. They will be at an NFTA, and Jeff, we've heard that they're supposed to be making a pretty big splash at NFTA, so excited to see them there. Roll that promo.
Make sure you visit Sitch Casket at the NFDA show, booth 2739. Drop your business card in the designated container, and on Tuesday afternoon, they're going to pick a winner to win a free casket that will be on display at the convention, and the casket will be shipped to you for free as well. So make sure you stop by, visit Sitch Casket at the NFDA show, booth 2739.
Okay, brother, where does our spotlight on a funeral director come today?
We do this spotlight on a funeral director to pass on positive stories about our industry. And right now, we're just going to take a little step back for all of our friends in the southeastern U.S. that got hit by Hurricane Matthew. In North Carolina alone, there's been 10 reported deaths as of today. Greenville, North Carolina, and Kinston, North Carolina. Greenville's my shout out to my friends down there, just down home. The areas are underwater, as well as Charleston, South Carolina. In fact, they can't even get in and out of Pitt County, which Greenville is surrounded. So it's a pretty tough situation. However, death doesn't stop them. So difficult weather, things they're having to deal with, and water, it's not like you rebuild. You got to tear out, then rebuild. So our hearts and thoughts go out to the folks that are struggling to work, funeral professionals. You keep doing it. Your tireless efforts are recognized. And look, send us some pictures in. Let us know what we can do to help you guys out there.
Absolutely. Great spotlight segment, and a lot of things happening down that southeast area hit by Hurricane Matthew. All right, Jeff, so we move from our spotlight segment into our WTF segment, and this is a little bit different of a take than what we normally have, but as you know, we take a lighthearted look at humorous things that happen in the funeral profession that you're going to talk about Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and really make you say WTF. So I'm picturing my family and I driving along I-77 South, headed down to Hilton Head, and we passed this hearse with, I don't know if it's a mummy, a dummy, a real guy. What's on top of there?
My first thought is it must be an apprentice driving this thing because they put the body in the wrong spot. And maybe they had too many in the back. There's a leg and an arm hanging out, but obviously, to the simple-minded of us here in the industry, we know that's not for real. But this stuff sticks out. So
It does.
and I'm recognizing this exit here, Allegheny and Quaker. I'm guessing they're somewhere up in Pennsylvania. So
It's pretty wild. And I'm looking at you look at this image when you zoom in. I believe it says "Got Corpse" on the back of it. So
if somebody wants to call us about this funeral home, apparently we can look at this and say they really are discounted, but because their advertising's fantastic. But anyway,
something different.
That's it. Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
All right, man. Well, the WTF segment brought to you by Disrupt Media and Disrupt You. Roll that promo.
Hey everybody, I'm Ryan Thalgmartin, CEO of Disrupt Media, and I want to make sure to invite you to our NFDA booth. We'll be at booth 4103. Come talk to us about social media for your funeral home and learn how to reach thousands of people in your community that you're missing and not engaging with.
All right, well, this wraps up episode 48, and we move on to 49. Is that right?
We're at 49 going to 50.
Holy cow, I've been backwards the whole time. Okay.
It's all right.
This wraps up 49. And we're rolling on to episode 50 next week. What do we have coming up?
We're going to have another fantastic interview. We're rolling into the NFDA's Super Bowl, so we'll have some stuff to talk about that and take a look at some of the new items and things we'll see there. So stay tuned. Be ready to go.
You got it. Make sure you check us out on social media. Hit us up on Facebook for everything that's new and the buzz in the funeral profession. So as always, we appreciate your support. Comment below. Share the video. Let's get it in the hands of people who care. So thank you all for your support. Until next time, have a great effing week.
Out here.